everyone, thanks for joining me back on our second yoga stretch video. So today I am bringing to you the upper body yoga stretch program. So we have, I think, roughly 18 or so stretches, so it's roughly the same as the first one if you did that one. If you did not do the first video and you're like, yoga stretch, what on earth are you talking about? This is part of a 6-video series where I go through the full body and then different parts of the body, where I have stretches that are designed basically to be perfect for your everyday kind of life. So if you don't want to commit to a full yoga flow and you just want to find a couple great stretches that you can incorporate into your daily life, that's pretty much what this program is for. Now, you don't have to do the other videos to do this one at all, but just so you know, those are an option if you're interested. So with that being said, we're going to hop right into this video. I'll meet you on the mat, carpet, whatever you've got to work with, I'll meet you there. The first stretch we're going to do for the upper body is a seated twist. So start in whatever seated position feels comfortable. Cross-legged is probably going to be the most common, most comfortable for people. So we're going to start by placing our right hand on our left knee and the left hand behind us. Inhale, sit a little bit taller, and exhale, start to twist. And as you inhale, think about sitting taller, and on the exhale, if it feels okay, think about twisting a little deeper. And we'll come back to center, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. So left hand on right knee, right hand behind. And maybe look past the right shoulder here, maybe look behind you. So that stretch is giving a nice shoulder rinse, getting the obliques, really just your whole back, spinal massage. So that should feel really good on your body. The second one we're going to do are some side bends. So we're going to anchor down through the right hand and just bend over. We'll come back through center and take it to the other side. And back to center. So our next one, the third, is going to be reverse Namaste hands. So we're going to bring our palms together and really think about pressing them together. So this isn't just like a casual, just holding them here. So you're really actively pressing the palms together, hands or like your forearms out wide. And then slowly start to bring the fingertips away from the body, and maybe we start to tilt them down towards the ground. This is a really intense forearm stretch. So if you have really tight forearms, you might only be like right here. And that is totally okay. We're all, working with our own bodies, working with what we've got. So just keep with it. And just breathe. Remember to let your shoulders relax away from the ears. It's normal when you're doing an intense stretch to start holding in other places. So we just want to remind ourselves to relax all over. And release. You can give the hands a little shake out here. That was probably a lot on the wrists as well if you're not used to doing that. So our next one is eagle arms. So we're going to bring the arms out next to the body. Cross the left over top of the right first. Bring the hands up, and maybe the palms come to kiss. Otherwise, leave backs of the hands together or hands on top of the shoulders. And this is targeting the shoulders, and really just like the whole upper back area. And release, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So arms come out beside you, right arm over the left this time, and then we intertwine the arms. And just remember that one side of your body may not be the same as the other. So if you could do it on one side and not on the other, don't worry about it. That's just kind of how our bodies are. It's just something to keep working on, improving on, And eventually, you're able to bring your body to a little bit more of a balance. But it's always natural for one side of our bodies to be tighter or not as strong as the other, since most of us do have a dominant side. So don't worry as we're going through these if you're feeling that way. It is perfectly normal. All right, so our next one is body circles. So basically what that is, we're going to stay in seated, and you're going to bring your torso over to one side of your body. You can do whichever, and start to bring your chest around past that knee, through the front, across that other knee, to the side, back through, and keep going. So you're making big circles with your body, with your torso really. So this is just opening up the hips gently. This is just a little hip opener. This is also spinal massage. This can be a great place to kind of work out any kinks. Maybe one side, you kind of like sit and stay in that stretch a little. Just keep moving through. If you have a really stiff back, this is a really nice thing to do. If you haven't reversed your circle, go ahead and reverse the direction. Like, I work in a kitchen, and I know after like a long 10-hour shift or whatever, doing this just feels so good. Just like a little spinal movement here. All right. We're going to come back to center. Our next stretch is the classic gym arm stretch, as I call it. I don't know if there's an actual name for it, but you'll probably know it when we do it here. Take one arm across the body, and you can use the opposite wrist or elbow crease to hold that arm in place, and we're just gently tugging that arm closer to our body. Remember to drop the shoulder. It's pretty common in this stretch, especially for this shoulder, to start to come up to compensate for the arm coming across. Just remind yourself, leave that shoulder parallel with the other one. This is getting a bicep stretch and shoulder stretch. And just breathe. And take the other side. So we're crossing the left arm now over your body. The right arm acts as the little lock and push little mechanism here. And release the arms. We're going to do the bicep stretch again that we did on the first yoga stretch. So arm comes behind you. I'm turning just so you can see. So arm behind you and gently pulling back. So it'll be a good bicep stretch, chest opener. And take it to the other side. So right arm is behind you. And come back to center. We're going to come onto all fours now. So make your way into like a little tabletop position here. And we're going to do some cat-cows. So once you have a good base set up, drop your belly, look forward. This is cow pose. And on your exhale, round the spine, really push away from the yoga mat for cat. Drop the belly, look forward. On an inhale. And round the spine, exhale. Take a few of these at your own pace with your breath. And I'll let you know when we're moving on to the next stretch. Once you even it out, we're going to come back into tabletop, so that neutral spine. Raise the left hand high. Get a little twist here. And then on an exhale, we're bringing this left arm under and through that right arm. So like a little threading the needle here. And we're coming down onto that left shoulder. this is a great upper body and shoulder stretch. You can leave the right arm bent and using that palm to press away from the mat, or you can extend it. There are other variations, but those are the two that I would recommend as far as targeting the upper body. And we're going to push ourselves back up, come back through center, even it out, twist, and come all the way back into tabletop. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So really plant down with that left hand, raise up that right arm, and on an exhale, thread the needle. And once again, you can either leave this arm bent or extend it. Sometimes I like to walk my fingertips out to the kind of going towards the opposite corner of the mat, but you may not necessarily make it there. Most of the times I don't. So just keep stretching. Remember to breathe. Take one more deep breath in. And on your exhale, we're going to start to unravel, pressing up, back into tabletop, and evening it out with a little twist to the right before bringing that right arm back down. From here, we're going to tuck our toes and then bring the knees up and start to press up and back into down dog. So what's great about down dog is that this is a full body stretch, but you can really target the upper body by bending the knees, gripping down into the mat, and gently pressing your torso back towards the knees, really elongating the spine. Bend the knees, and we're going to come into a little forward fold. So this is our next stretch, a forward fold. So for here, you can either leave your hands just extended, or you can ragdoll. Doing a ragdoll gives a little bit more of a shoulder rinse because you're just grasping opposite elbows, just allowing the full weight of your body to just really hang forward. So find whatever feels good for you, and we'll just be hanging out here for a few breaths. If you're in a ragdoll, release the arms and slowly roll up. All right. The next stretch we're going to do is a shoulder rinse. So bring the hands behind you, clasp your hands. They can either be kind of squared off at the wrists like this, or if you're able, you can bring the palms together. But leaving them squared off is totally okay. So, hands behind us. Think about drawing the knuckles towards the ground, lifting the heart up. This is a shoulder rinse, chest opener. And then bending the knees really generously here. We keep our hands clasped and start to bring your chest forwards and towards the thighs, allowing the hands to come up however far they do. And this is a shoulder rinse here. If you have really tight shoulders, this might feel really good for you. Bending the knees to come back up into standing. From there, we gently release the hands. You don't want to just release them and let them slingshot open. It can cause a little shoulder pain, so be gentle when you're unleashing any binds or any stretches like that. Our next stretch is a standing side body stretch. So you can stand with feet together, hip width apart, wider than hip. It really does not matter. So we're going to start standing. Raise one arm up above you and just bend over. I like to place a hand on the hip. That kind of helps me from, instead of dumping my weight into my hips or anything, kind of gives some stability. The reason why I included both the seated and a standing side body stretch is when you're standing, you can feel more of the obliques, that front of the hip stretch. And even though this is an upper body specific routine, it is important to have a little health for everything else because, it's not isolated. Our muscles are all connected. Come back into center, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So sometimes a low back that's sore can be connected to tight hamstrings or hips or something like that. So it is important, I think at least, to touch a little bit on the rest of your body. And back to center. We're going to come back onto the floor next. All right, so we're going to come back into that tabletop position. And from here, we're going to place our elbows underneath our shoulders and then walk the knees back a little bit and start to melt your heart towards the ground. Try and keep the arms parallel, really gripping with your hands into the mat or the floor. And just breathe. Maybe as you exhale, you can press down a little bit lower. And then we're going to bring our upper body through our arms and bring it gently onto the ground here. Sliding the hands in line with your rib cage. Bring the elbows in so they're snug against your side body. Tuck the chin gently and press up for cobra. Maybe we'll look past one shoulder and then the other. And bring it back down. From here, we're going to press back up into a seated position. And we've just got one final upper body stretch. And this is just a simple one. This is shoulder rolls. So it is literally exactly what it sounds. You're just making circles with your shoulders. The reason I included this is after doing a lot of intense stretches, it can feel really good just to kind of be a little loosey-goosey, work any of the kinks out, So this is something I personally really like to do after a lot of shoulder and upper body work. And make sure you take them both directions, both forward and back. All right, so those were our upper body stretches for this yoga stretch series. I hope you found a couple that were really helpful and spoke to you in a positive way for your body. And if you want more content like this, make sure you subscribe to the Lost and Found Outdoors YouTube channel. There are links below that will take you to the corresponding blog piece. For each yoga stretch, there's also a blog that has pictures, so reference images for you, and there's also, I go more into detail about props you can use to make the different stretches more accessible to you, things that you should maybe avoided, alignment cues, more variations. So great little tool to have there in addition to the videos. So make sure you take a look at that if you'd like, and I will see you back next week for our lower body routine, where we'll be targeting the hips, the legs, feet, everything pretty much here on out. There should also be down below a little calendar for you, so that way you can stay up to date on the next upcoming segment series as well. So thank you so much for joining me on these. I hope they have been useful for you, and I hope that you find the upcoming videos and posts helpful as well. So have a great day, and I will see you guys back here on the mat next week. Bye.